Hi everyone, this is Dora. I just wanted to do a little housekeeping before we get to the episode. We realized that our lines didn't include racism and sexism when they should. Unfortunately, we recorded several sessions without the correct lines, so you'll probably be hearing this message on a few episodes before we've gotten it corrected. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, enjoy the show.
Hi folks, welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Twitter at FTLcast. Today we're playing Fiasco by Jason Morningstar. For those of you who are new to the game, here's the basics. Fiasco is inspired by cinematic tales of small-time capers gone disastrously wrong. Inspired by films like Blood Simple, Fargo, The Way of the Gun, Burn After Reading, and Simple Plan. You'll play ordinary people with powerful ambition and poor impulse control. There will be big dreams and flawed execution. It won't go well for them, to put it mildly, and in the end it will probably all go south in a glorious heap of jealousy, murder, and recrimination. Lives and reputations will be lost, painful wisdom will be gained, and if you are really lucky, your guy might just end up back where he started. And specifically, we'll be using the Into the Void playset book by Gremlin Legions. In the golden age of cinema and television, when people would look up to the stars, they would see grand adventure between good and evil, with intrepid space explorers venturing out into the unknown, making the galaxy a better place for one and all. Of course, we know better. People will just be as rotten in space as they are planet-side, bringing their pettiness, bickering, backstabbing, and greed to the stars. Sure, they may talk about grand plans and bettering humanity, but it's only a matter of time before someone starts to claim planets and asteroids for their own, leading to the next great gold rush. For the sake of this playset, we're assuming that we haven't gotten too far outside of our system. This isn't Star Trek or Star Wars, where warp drives and hyperspace coordinates are easily available. Hell, they aren't even valid theories yet. While spacecraft has advanced since the 20th century, going from Earth to Mars still takes several weeks, and further out can take upwards of months to a year. All that time aboard ship can lead to many poor decisions as crewmates start to lose patience with each other. I'm Mab, and you can find me on Twitter at LittleLadyMab, and my pronouns are she, her. Playing with me today, we have...
I'm Jade. You can find me on Twitter at Jade Oxford Rose. As you'll notice, I am the token Brit here. I hope that doesn't lead to somebody else I know who's British playing Fiasco, because it did not go well for him. My pronouns are they, them.
My name is Alix. You can find me on Twitter at GizmitNemesis, and my pronouns are also they, them.
My name is Sam. You can find me on Twitter at SAKalo, and my pronouns are he, him.
And I'm Han. You can find me on Twitter at Mercutios, which is spelled with an E, because Mercutios, the way you would really spell it, was taken. And I also use they, them.
Our lines, which we absolutely do not want to see, are homophobia and transphobia, violence against children and animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, attacks by dogs, unwanted pregnancy. And our veils, which we're fine with addressing but will just fade to black on, steamy situations, which will probably be fading a lot to on this episode, graphic descriptions of bodily harm, and if there's anything new that we want to add, a new set of players together, then let us know now. Since that sounds all good, now that we've got all that, we're going to get started. So again, we're playing Fiasco, and the basic setup, we have rolled our 20 dice. and we got the grand total of 69. Not that
Nice.
it matters, really.
Nice.
So we're gonna take a few minutes to get our character stuff together. And so what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we'll go down the list. So what you'll do, Sam, is you'll introduce your character, and then define, like, kind of go through what your relationship card is with Han's character. So you're like, this is my character, and then with Han's character, define, like, the romance, the colonies, and then Han, you'll go on, and we'll just kind of go down the line like that.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, hi. I'm Sam again. Hello. It's me. So my character, his name is Joe Stockton. He is a model for a space tourism company. He used to be a mechanic before he was pulled into this space tourism modeling stuff, before he was discovered, I would say. And the relationship card that I have is with Han. And so our relationship is a romance. It's forbidden affection. And our location is the colonies, and I would say that we met on the Atlantis colony on Europa. And sort of for our sort of torrid forbidden romance.
Play romantique. Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I am going to be playing Evander Navarro Thorne, who is, I have written Dr. Spy and Homme Fatale, because I am who I am. He's, I think, technically, like, on some kind of an assignment from some kind of undefined agency on, like, this whatever target planet we're going to. And the card that I have is with Mab's character, and we are adversaries, traitor and former ally, so I've betrayed Space Hamlet at some time in the past. And the weapon we have is a taser. Undefined kind of taser. It could be a cool space taser, who knows?
It's got to be a space taser.
Yeah.
We're in space. I'm playing a character named Davey Jane, and he is basically a space Hamlet. Boy loves to be dramatic. He loves to pout. He is a disgraced or former prince of some space empire that will probably define in play. He is basically Hamlet, what is a vlogger, and loves that 80s synth music. No, I'm just kidding. And so the character relationship that I'll be defining is with Jade's character. We have a destiny together. We are survivors of tragedy, and the unexpected location that we had found ourselves in at some point was a hyperspace gate. And it will be fraught and dramatic, and they'll talk about feelings a lot.
Yes.
It's fine. It's fine. Go on.
Jade here. I am playing Kari Valon, who's a former soldier turned freelancer. Technically a mercenary, but he has, like, way too many morals for that label to stick. Basically a jack of all trades, can cook, can fight, is handy with a welding torch. And the other point is, a mum friend, but make it fucky. Like, he'll be like, okay, you look slamming in that outfit, but if you're not going to sleep with me, have you got condoms in your bag? Like, you got to be safe. Like, you know, he's that person.
I love him.
Just because I like to, he's trans feminine, so uses he and they pronouns. And yeah, he fucky. My relationship with Alix's character is they're Confederates, a former commander and XO, an executive officer. We just googled this shit because we didn't really know.
We thought it stood for hug and kiss, which it might still.
Yep. And between them, they have some contraband, and it is organically grown herbs. So, you know, space weed.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so my character is Ara Atkinson. He is Commander in a, space military. I've just written down beefy boy and bro, we are kissing. And
I think it's very important to note that there is a space in the middle of the word kissing.
Kissing. Yeah, because it's, I have to keep the integrity of the original tweet.
Right.
Of course. I understand. I just love
intact, it. Yeah. And I've also written down about to learn that toxic masculinity is a mistake, because I think that he, it's not that he doesn't know that he likes men, it's that he just is really not in touch with his feelings. But he's about to be, if I have anything to say about it.
Nice.
And so the need that I have defined is sort of related to this is the need to hump. And defined as anyone and everyone you can. With Joe, who we're also criminals together because Joe is the fence who is selling our space weed. And I think that wraps us back around to the beginning.
Yarp.
Yep.
All right. So we're just going to go ahead and go in order. And so to set up, we have 10 positive die and 10 negative die. And as we go along, you can either establish a scene yourself, and then someone else will tell you how the outcome should go, either positive or negatively. Or you can let someone else set up a scene for you, and then you decide if it goes well or poorly, and we start counting down those positive and negative die until we get through the first half, which will be 10 scenes total. There's 5 of us, 2 for each of us. So yeah, Sam, if you want to go ahead and get started, you can either decide to set up a scene in which you dictate where it's at, who is in it with you, and then as you're going on, we'll tell you if it should end poorly or end well.
Okay.
Or again, yeah, you can also decide to resolve a scene and we make it up for you, and then you decide if it ends well or ends poorly.
And just to confirm, we are on a spaceship going somewhere. We're basically on a road trip, but it's long.
Road trip, space trip.
We're on a
Mm-hmm. It's like that movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence where they're on a spaceship forever, but without the creepy misogyny.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna get this out of the way right away and say I'm gonna do a scene with Han, and we're just straight chilling. No.
I don't know that it's straight.
It's super not straight.
That's true. We are gay chillin'. Why don't I say that Joe is hanging out in our ship has an infirmary now? I've just decided.
Of course.
No, I feel like that makes sense.
Definitely.
Evander's a doctor. So
Yep.
Joe's just sort of chilling in the infirmary. I don't quite understand what I'm supposed to be doing to define a scene, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, you could have gotten hurt somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Or...
Yeah, maybe Joe pulled a muscle while lifting.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Doctor, please look. My muscle. It's sore.
Stop spoiling the scene.
And then, yeah, so as it's going on, one of us will decide if it should start taking a negative turn or a positive turn. We'll go from there. And then I'll tell you what to do after.
Got it.
Okay.
So, I guess I have to start. So, Joe sort of enters the infirmary. He looks like he's in pain, because his arm is, I would say, a little swollen. Not swollen as in, lifting weights, but, he looks like he hurt himself. And he's just sort of dramatically throws himself onto one of the beds and goes, Evander, I've hurt myself.
How?
All right, so... First of all, you don't get to laugh at me for this. I'm getting that out of the way.
Do
right
I look
away.
like I'm laughing? I'm not laughing. You've entered my professional space.
That's fair enough. So me and Ara were lifting weights down in the, I don't know if I would call it a gym exactly. It's not really big enough for that, but we were just hanging out, and I dropped something, on my arm. It was a weight. It was quite heavy. I wasn't paying attention. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyways, my arm really hurts.
Okay.
Joe kind of holds his arm out to...
I'm not sure what you want me to do about this. Take some painkillers and go take a nap. What are you really doing here?
Can't I just come see you? But like,
Can
actually,
you?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
look, we're gonna be on the spaceship together for a long time.
that's kind of the problem.
Joe kind of just like sits on the bed and is kind of crossing his arms, looking off to the side, like, all right, I feel like we probably should have defined why their relationship was forbidden, like, before.
No, I kind of like it. I like it being like very vague.
Like ambiguous, like, what's going on here?
We can't.
Joe's just sort of sitting there, like,
Yeah. We have so much time left on this trip, and we can't let this get in the way of making it through this trip intact.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to be as much of an issue as you think it is. I can be professional.
Are we just supposed to like speak up about giving people dice, or?
I threw it in the chat, 'cause technically it's just like, let the game continue to flow.
There it is.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna do that too, so good.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
So basically that means, like, we have to then make it a negative thing.
Yeah, you just kind of start, like, it just doesn't end well for you. Like,
Okay.
Basically, Joe doesn't get what he wanted.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is homophobia.
Uh-huh. You chose forbidden affection.
It's true.
Look, Joe, we can't... You're great, but I'm here in a capacity that doesn't allow for this.
Joe's just gonna kind of stand up. He's got this sort of haughty expression on his face. He's like, well, forgive me for assuming that you could be professional and also have a personal life.
Listen, do you want painkillers or not?
I mean, yes, I do. My arm still does very much hurt.
Okay, well, I can at least give you those. Just don't lift anything for a while. And we can talk about this later.
Come find me when you're ready to talk. Joe just, like, takes the bottle of painkillers and, like, storms out. He is...
Takes the whole damn bottle. I love
just
it.
steals the bottle. He's like, fine. He grabs the bottle out of his
Five
guy's hand and
cups
just, like,
of painkillers.
just leaves.
Yep. Okay.
So, yeah, you were awarded a negative dice, and in the
Uh-huh.
first half, what you're going to do is you're going to take that negative die and assign it to somebody else.
Got it. So I have to just, like, pass it on to someone else.
Yeah, so it's probably like someone, like, so it would generally just be someone in the scene or someone that helped instigate the scene in the first place. So if you want to give it to Ara for being like, it's your fault I got hurt, or if you want to give it to
So
Evander,
I just, like,
you can.
put it in the little,
The little negative box, yeah.
their negative box. So I'll just, like, put a 1 there or put a negative, put a little dash there on Ara.
Yeah.
It's
Got
not my fault your relationship is falling apart.
Fuck you.
It's not a relationship.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Dang.
I've marked off that one negative dice has been used as well. I didn't know if that was
Beautiful.
important.
Thank
but yeah.
Yeah. So, Evander.
Fucking okay. Okay. I would... Well, okay, so can we go over what the difference is between establishing and finish? Because, like, on your turn, you don't have to establish, right? You can let someone else establish your scene.
Right, basically, so if you want to finish a scene, you would say, hey, I want to resolve, and so you decide, you're the one who gets to decide if it's a positive or a negative outcome.
Okay.
And then someone else will just be like, oh, well, then you should be with these people.
I think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So I'll resolve so someone else gets to establish the scene.
Okay. I think you should do a scene with Davey.
Okay.
Although I'm trying to think of more specifics. Does anybody have more ideas of where this, like, traitor confrontation can happen?
So yeah, are we going to go off the assumption that Davey knows Evander is a traitor or on the ship?
I mean, this could be the scene where you find out.
Ooh.
Or you know, you could be...
I also kind of like it being like, I know I'm a traitor, but you think I'm still an ally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's Fiasco after all.
I hope
maybe...
Kari confronts you on my behalf later.
I think so. I feel like I think maybe Davey is like, I don't know, whatever this betrayal is about. Like maybe is like working on that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like what?
I said top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah. This is gonna be a top 10 anime betrayal, but not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, maybe it could have to do with you're like testing out that taser or something.
Sure.
Get out on me.
Not on each other. Jesus Christ. I'm just, you know, if that weapon is like part of your relationship, maybe it's like a really, really deadly taser.
Maybe it's your family's ancestral taser.
Yeah, that's good too.
Good God. Yeah.
Okay, I think you guys should be testing / inspecting the ancestral taser.
Where are we?
In the room with the armory.
In the armory, okay.
Yeah.
I always feel like that's like a clue set up, like in the armory with the taser.
Yes, in the armory with the taser.
Don't kill me yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can come into the room and Davey's there just inspecting the beautifully decorated box that his beautiful ancestral taser is in.
Yeah.
I have to say everything very dramatically.
Do you know what you're doing with that?
I'm not poking myself with it. That's the important thing, isn't it?
I mean, I just wanted to make sure, because that would be a whole lot of mess for me to clean up later if, you know.
Evander, you're the doctor. That's what you're here for. To make sure that if any of us get hurt, that we'll be safe and secure afterwards.
Well, yes. I will absolutely treat any sort of taser-related injuries. I am also in the business of preventing injuries as well. So I just wanted to make sure you know what you're doing with that.
Of course I do. It is my family's taser. I've been taught how to handle it since I was a wee little babe.
Okay. I didn't mean to offend. I mean, I know your family. It's
all right.
I know how you all operate. It's fine. Listen, how are you holding up?
I've been better, of course, but you know, a new stage, a new set to explore. It will get better than it has been. It's all right. I'm glad you're here with me.
Of course. You know it. I'm glad you're here as well.
It means so much to me. Thank you.
Listen, just be careful with that. I trust that you know what you're doing with it. I don't trust that everyone else on the ship knows what they're doing if they were to get their hands on.
They shouldn't.
That.
It is bio-coded to me, so
well, right.
I don't expect anyone to cut off my hands. You'll make sure that they don't cut off my hands, won't you?
I mean, I can't. I can sew your hand back on, but I'm not your bodyguard.
I'll talk to Kari about it. He'll make sure that no one cuts off my hands.
It's probably a good move. You should definitely talk to Kari about it.
All right.
And you can come to me if it does get cut off.
But what if I can't find the hand after it gets cut off?
Listen,
what am I supposed to do then? What if I'm lying on the floor bleeding out?
Davey.
Yes.
Deep breaths. Okay. No one's gonna cut off your hand.
Okay. You just never know when you know, what happened to everyone else in the family.
Listen, you're gonna be fine.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I trust you.
Okay, good. I think that's a net positive. Cool. Okay, and I think I'm gonna give that positive die to Kari for getting me out of that situation by proxy.
No worries.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I think the best option then, I'll just set up the scene with Davey going to Kari. And
I gotta say, before we start that scene,
Yeah.
I just have to say, because I forgot for a split second what your character's name was, so I genuinely thought Evander was like, baby, 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 baby.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That happens later. Don't worry. We can get there.
Okay.
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 So yeah, where would Kari most likely be at this point in time?
I feel like maybe he's up in the very small, like, cockpit / bridge of. I'm imagining it a bit like the Serenity, so it's like the size of a small room. There's a couple of chairs in there. I'm like, he's just chilling in there.
Okay. Davey's gonna come find you. Does anyone else want to be in the scene, possibly driving? Like if Ara or Joe want to be in there also to experience the overflow of emotions that will take place. All right.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
In
don't
which
worry.
case, I'll be reading a book, like an old school book, like paper and everything.
So, Davey just pushes open the door and then, like, dramatically leans against it. Kari, I'm afraid. I'm afraid for my life. And I'm afraid for my hands. And the life of my hands.
Okay. Slowly puts the book down, gives the full attention. Why are you specifically worried about your hands?
Because I was just talking to Evander. We were in the armory.
Okay.
And I was talking about how the box that holds my family's taser is bio-coded. And then it came to me in a flash, a vision, an epiphany. What if someone cuts off my hand to open the box to get to the taser? Like, Evander said that there's nothing he can do to prevent my hands being cut off, which is fair. I accept that. But,
I mean...
Can you help? I just worry about my hands.
Okay.
Can you hold my hands?
Okay, well, first off, yeah, okay. And I take your hands in mine. And I look at you. Well, first off, if it makes you feel better, maybe sleep with your hands under your pillow so your head is on top of your hands. So nobody will be able to get them while you're sleeping. That's a thing we can do.
He nods slowly and understanding. I see. A good idea.
I try. I mean, I think you're going to notice it's a big ship. It's not a big ship even. It's really quite a small ship. If somebody starts trying to cut your hand off, you just yell really loudly and I will come and I will punch them in the face. For starters. And then I can do some more stuff. I'm not going to let somebody cut your hands off.
I'm so glad.
Okay.
You've really set my mind and my heart at ease.
I'm so glad really, hon, I don't think anyone's going to chop your hands off. Like, everyone here nobody... It's a nice...
You know what happened to my family, though.
Yeah, I know. And it's a nice taser, hun, but it's not, like, chop-off hand-worthy. It's more important to you than to somebody else.
Okay.
Okay?
I believe you. Yes, it's true. Okay. It is just, it's a family heirloom.
Yeah.
So why would anyone want a dumb taser anyway, even though the box is beautifully and immaculately carved by masters of their profession?
It is. Yeah. I can't fault that.
I mean, they can just sell the box and afterwards, it's fine. I'll be fine if they do that.
Okay. You sure?
Not like it means anything. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to take a couple of deep breaths with me, Try again. No. Try again. Less. Just less. There we go.
Thank you. I'm afraid I might start hyperventilating if everyone keeps telling me to take deep breaths.
Yeah, no, don't do that. I mean, we've got a good oxygen scrubber on here, but I'd hate for you to, like, dial up the CO2 levels just by yourself.
Mm-hmm. It's true. You know how I can be.
Very aware.
All right.
It's fine.
Thank you.
It's fine.
Thank you, Kari.
Okay.
All right, I'll. You don't mind if I sit here a little bit? I'll be quiet, and you can go back to reading.
That's fine. Just.
All right.
Yeah, that. Evander said, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. I think that's a good scene. I'm gonna give you that positive die. Thanks for sticking through with Davey.
A quote-unquote positive scene.
Yeah.
I will give that positive die to.
Well, I'm giving it to you.
Oh, sweet.
You get to keep it. Don't give it away.
Don't
give away my gift to you, Kari.
Okay. All right. I want to have a scene with Ara.
All right, we're just going down the line here.
Yeah. I just want to.
It's a good establishing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more just like. Actually. Yeah, no. I'll establish the scene. I'll let somebody else resolve it. So we're down in the small cargo hold, and we're just sort of like checking on the contraband and discussing the contraband.
Okay.
I also want to establish
Testing
that factor.
The contraband.
So, Ara, this fence you've got for this, like, they're cool, right? I've not had a chance to speak to them yet. Are they okay?
It's probably best if you don't know who it is. Just, if you ever get questioned.
I mean, there's like there's 3 other people on this ship. Like,
and it could be any one of those 3.
Well, I can guarantee you it's not Davey. So, I mean, that leaves 2 people.
Do you listen to me? Do you want to get taken in and questioned by the police when we get to Europa?
Look, I've never met a policeman I couldn't have around my little finger, like, in about 30 seconds, but I take your point. You don't have to tell me if it's Evander or Joe, it's fine.
You don't have enough respect for authority.
Well, there's a reason I'm not in the military anymore. Do you want me to call you sir again? Will that make you feel better? I can call you sir.
Oh, sorry, my headphone fell out. No, I heard that, don't worry. But, no, you say it in a mocking way and I don't enjoy it.
I can say it. Look, I'll say it in a nice way if you like.
No, listen. All right, I think he is blushing a little bit at that.
It's a good colour on you, sir.
All right.
Sorry,
fine,
I'm sorry. I'm being a dick. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Listen, I'll tell you. All right. It's Joe.
Okay. Huh. Wouldn't have picked. Okay, sure. And you trust him.
But
you trust him.
Yes.
Okay. Then I trust him too.
But you can't tell Evander, all right?
Okay, sure. I'll give you a little salute, just a little snappy one. I can even click my heels together if you really want me to oversell it.
I want you to take this seriously.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God. I don't have many choices, so this is... I took a risk telling you about this contraband, all right? Don't make me regret that.
When have I ever made you regret anything? Except possibly this conversation right now.
Well, there was that one time that you mixed up my appointments and I was an hour late to meet with the Admiral.
Yeah, okay, no, that was mine. But in no, there is no defense. I'm sorry.
We have to be professional, all right? We have to be professional in this.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I know this is like a negative scene. I think that the negative of it is just, I mean, does it have to be negative like in the scene, or does there have to be like, because if it does, then I feel like Ara trusts Kari less.
Mm.
Yeah, I can definitely feel the mood of it,
Mm-hmm.
like their relationship getting tenser. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Although, I was thinking, I don't know if it was outside the scene, then maybe actually telling him about Joe was a bad idea, but...
I mean, both can be true. Like,
that's true. Well, there's no limit of bad things.
It's Fiasco.
It's Fiasco.
So yeah, so Jade, you can go ahead and give away that dice.
Okay. I'm gonna give that over to Sam because again, Joe getting dragged into that. So.
Oh, good.
I love it.
Thanks for the negative dice.
Listen, it could end up fine. It's you never
about
know.
balance and stuff. It's not about like just it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, alright. I think I'm gonna break the chain a little bit because I want a scene. I think I'll establish this scene with Davey.
Okay.
I think what's basically happening is that Ara wants to make sure that Davey isn't going to mess up the contraband plans. So I think Ara just shows up and knocks on Davey's personal quarters.
Mm-hmm. Davey's on his bed. He's got his hands behind his head, underneath his head, just to be safe, and has
God.
a little. He's got a book propped up on his knees because he can't hold it up with his hands because he's just being very cautious, and it's a very uncomfortable position. But somehow he manages. I don't know if they have hollow screens. I don't know. I don't think we're that far in the future.
No, I mean we almost certainly still have books.
So he has it on his lap and he's sitting on his hands instead.
All right. Well, Ara knocks.
Come in.
Hey, Davey.
Ara.
Can I call you that?
Yes, I don't know what else you would call me.
I mean, Your Highness. I don't.
Oh, please. Your Highness was my father.
This fucking guy.
Okay. All right. Ara walks over and walks over to the bed and glances at it as if asking can I sit on the bed?
He scoots over and drops his book and is like okay, and just kind of resolves himself to pick it up and puts it aside and folds his hands in his lap, pins them between his knees so they're safe and secure away.
Davey, you seem tense.
Do I? I don't know. It's space travel never really agrees with me.
Is there something wrong with your hands? You can get Evander to look at that.
No, it's fine. It's cold in space. It's very cold in here.
Oh,
keeping them warm.
May I see your hands?
Why?
If you're cold, I feel like my hands are pretty big. I could probably keep them warm.
Oh. Okay. And he holds out his hands very hesitantly, but also very dramatically.
All right. I think, and then Ara takes them both in both of his hands, and then slowly, trying not to scare him, kisses the back of one of them.
Davey's just dumbfounded.
I mean, this is what you're supposed to do with royalty, right?
I mean, yeah, sure, yes. Yeah, sure. Keep going. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, so basically Ara's plan here is to seduce him and then, later go through all of his stuff to see that if he knows that he's in on the contraband.
Perfect. It's good.
So yeah, I think he kisses the other hand, and just says, I know that things happened unfortunately with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so sorry to hear that, and just keeps kissing my hands.
God.
And I just want to offer comfort.
Davey just gives a very fond smile and takes one of his hands and puts it beneath Ara's chin, and then pats his cheek with the other one. And he goes, "You're a very sweet boy. Thank you." Even though he's a man, isn't he? He's older.
Yep.
Who knows?
That's the impression I got. Yep.
He would definitely blush at that.
I am quite wonderful, thank you. I appreciate.
You are wonderful.
Oh. I appreciate the sentiment so much. It means so much to me that there are still people who appreciate me and my legacy.
Your legacy is so important to me, and I think he leans in closer.
I'm surprised you didn't go for a leg joke there.
I mean, he's kind of trying to kiss him, but like ready to back off if that's not what's happening.
I think Davey's a little too dumb to figure that out, but so he will just gently guide Ara's face back a little bit and says, and pats him now on both cheeks with both hands.
I'm sorry if I overstepped.
It's fine. It's just give me a moment. Give me a moment here. I'm not, it's rough.
It is rough. Yes. I think he's still holding his hands and is just rubbing them with his thumbs a little bit. Listen, is there anything that you need from me? Anything at all?
Just as long as if I start yelling for help, perhaps you can come and rescue me. It'll be very dramatic.
I mean, yes, sure. I can do that. Listen, do you mind if I stay here for a little while? It's just like you said, it's cold and I'm lonely. It would be nice to just hang out here.
Listen, and he puts his book aside now instead of just putting it down, and he shifts his hands so they're holding Ara's, and he says, "If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. It is my duty both as a prince and as a member of this crew to help those in need and those who need my help." He's making himself teary-eyed with the speech.
I like that he always sounds like he's about to cry.
It's very good.
It's true.
Then I simply ask that you allow me to stay here a little longer tonight.
You are welcome to stay as long as you wish, if that is what you desire.
Okay, I think we can probably stop it there.
Well,
Well, I don't know that happens because I don't think
he's
because
a dumbass.
Because Ara thinks that pushing him back from the kiss was a rejection, and so what happens is Ara just stays there until there's and this is a positive scene, until there's some lapse in attention from Davey, if Davey falls asleep or starts reading his book again, and then tries to get information, and I think does end up with useful information, although I'm not sure what that information is yet.
That information is that Davey knows jack shit.
About
Okay,
pretty much anything,
cool.
apparently.
If we're being completely honest, he can tell you what color your eyes remind him of. But that's about it.
Oh my god. Is it the sea?
your eyes are an ocean.
Okay. So I get the positive die, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to give it to somebody else.
All right. I think I'm gonna give it to Davey. Because I've learned that you're not messing with my plans.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I should take that one.
Can we take a quick break? Alright.